Ian, I'm glad I got to get a hold of you because I've been meaning to reach out. I've been trying to get a hold of you on IRL, but this is actually a much better environment to speak with you because I had a couple conversations, open-ended questions regarding the solar flares and the auroras and everything you were talking about as far as this electric current thing. And I don't know how much versed you are in with the electric universe theory, but I think it's very interesting. I wouldn't say that I'm a subscriber to it, but I just think that there is a lot of postulation and questioning that maybe our universe and maybe everything we understand about how we send, transmit, receive energy galactically and then in our solar system, and then you can apply that to Tesla tech and how he was tapping into these resonant frequencies of the earth. There's a lot to unpack there. So I had like part one question, I guess. Are you aware or are you familiar with the electric universe? And then if so, maybe we can dabble in a little bit more about what was going on with these X-class solar flares and how we kind of as a society need to, yes, appreciate the beauty that nature gives us, but understand that it's quite unnatural to receive and to be able to casually see these higher upper atmosphere electron dancing, displays in fucking Florida, So, your thoughts on that?
I do adhere to the electric universe. I don't see a more likely philosophy at this point. There's a group called the Thunderbolts Project that turned me onto it roughly like
Yep.
2017 or so. I really started
Same.
to take it seriously. And when we had Wei Ping Yu on the Culture War, which is a great episode you should check out if you want to learn more, see what I'm talking about. He was a Chinese scientist, I believe, works at NASA, and he's like from maybe Chinese history, but he works at NASA. And he thinks also, he showed us if you take a magnet, a long, thin magnet, it's got its magnetic field. You start folding it over on itself over and over and over until you have a cubic or a spheroid version. It contains the magnetic field. It now contains its own magnetic field. And that the magnetic force of this now becomes very, very small, and it also gets very hot in the center because the field is contained. I think that's what planets are and why they have cores. Why the
Yes.
cores are very hot because they're contained magnetic fields. And then if you look at Coulomb's equation, which is or is it Maxwell's equation? It's Maxwell's equation using the Coulomb force. I don't know, but the Maxwell's equation is the equation of electromagnetism versus Isaac Newton's equation for gravitational force. It's the same equation. Magnetism and the gravitational equation are the same equation with a different constant. It's the same function. It's just a diminished version of it. Yeah, I think all force is, at least from one view, all force can be seen as magnetic in that sense. There's still stuff happening at the subatomic realm that maybe I think is more cymatic, like subatomic spin and particle formation. I think there's like a change in frequency that causes things to behave like in a different direction or a different shape, and when it happens fast enough it looks like it's moving, but it's actually just appearing in a different position because of the shift of like space-time's vibration that we probably aren't able to detect yet. So when in that sense, I wholly get into this
Great.
magnetic field.
Yeah,
theory.
no, I think that there's a lot to unpack, but grand scale speaking, I mean, the ancients had a very great way of explaining it. Everything you just said in one sentence, as above, so below. And when we look at a macro scale of the galaxies and how things orbit and how things interact with each other, and then we look at the micro scale of atoms and subatomic particles and this dancing that happens at the macro and the micro, and we understand that this electromagnetic resonance field frequency permeates everything. I mean, whether you want to call it, maybe it is different, but I think it might have to be somewhere in the same realm as the ether. I mean, and modern science like poo-poos this. They just shut it down, and you can apply that same like dogmatic argument to politics or religion, and like so many, like it's a very archetypal human trait that we have to just denounce things that we oh, we already figured this out, therefore like there's no reason to continue. Like the whole beauty about science is continuously questioning and tying these pieces together and these threads together. And then, now we're living in this world where we are talking about AI, we are talking about self-driving cars and lithium sulfide or sulfur batteries, however you like. But what does that really like? That shows us that we are still naive to understand the grander scheme of how the universe interacts and how the planet, how our environment and the potential and the capabilities that we have. I mean, like, and the solar flare that it's beautiful auroras that we saw. I'm in Colorado, but I was stuck working last night, but I mean, just the fact that we were able to see, I saw purples, reds, greens, all of it, and it's just crazy to me that like people are so caught up in this. It's a beautiful spectacle, but we don't question it further. Like, what's actually happening with the sun? What's actually happening in our universe? And then you think about the ancients and how they were so intimately tied to gazing at the stars and connection with the universe. There is an energetic field that we pick up and transmit and receive and send as bioelectric antennas on this planet. And then you take into consideration what's happening with the political atmosphere, with our GOP, with the infighting, with this complete disarray that we're stuck in right now, as far as human behavior and human civics. Like it's not a coincidence that we're seeing this stuff on grander scales, and in our local scales. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I used to think that kind of thing. It's just things are too connected to call them coincidences. If there is a magnetic field that's weaving through everything, then stop calling stuff coincidences. Just because you can't see the coordination doesn't mean there isn't coordination.
Well, what do you guys say to people that suggest the idea that humanity really is not advanced or grown enough in scale to be having any kind of adverse effects against the planet or these fields, basically saying that you'd have to be stupid to think that we're having any kind of impact whatsoever on something this grand of a scale? Do you guys think that we might actually, and just the things that we're doing, both electronically, and anything else, building of power grids, these dams, shit that's going up, are we possibly having any kind of like effect that could be accelerating some of these things or bringing them up on a grander scale, forcing them to happen sooner than later?
Maybe. Since we discovered electricity, that's I think when we started really fucking with the earth, like not in necessarily a bad way, but we just started really messing with
Excuse me, Ian. It's rediscovering electricity.
Yeah, exactly. They had the Baghdad battery 2,000 years ago. Atlantis very well may have been sending, like you were talking about Tesla, vibrations through the Earth, and that disrupted the Earth's magnetic field and allowed the Toward meteor stream to fall into the North American glacial plates and cause a catastrophic global flood. Maybe when humanity gets to a point where they start using so much electricity, then it fucks the Earth's magnetic field up, and then we're just bombarded. But why in these cycles? It seems like we're getting to the point of understanding where we're going to be able to preserve and not do it to ourselves again.
I think that's a noble thought. I believe that we are a victim of our own environment, and we are too consumed by our own reptilian demanding, lower mindseted brain as humanity. And like there's the people in charge, let's put it this way, there's plenty of us in the world who might think open-minded like us and many other that are listening, but it's like the people who make the decisions, those were the same people that caused the fall of Atlantis or Lemuria or, Mu, whatever have you, right? Or even going far back as maybe, ancient civilizations on Mars. This is a repeated cycle in humanoid consciousness expansion. We end up self-consuming ourselves with greed and ego and power. And until we as the Matrix said, until we return to source and until we actually reconnect with the reason we're here and the reason of understanding, and maybe a religious archetype comes in, until we actually understand our place, and remove our ego from the equation, we might be able to see a little bit things a little bit clearer, as how the larger scale of this electric circuit, galactic circuit, operates and works.
Yeah,
and call me an asshole, but I don't.
You fucking asshole.
I don't.
You're
thank
a
you. I needed that.
goddamn
I don't
Call
think
me
you're
a
an
fucking
asshole,
asshole. I don't think we are. I don't think we're capable of getting to that point where we save ourselves. Humans are so inherently fucking destructive that
No, you're not wrong.
Just on the cycle of things that we've seen historically, it just always seems like we're turning the clock forward instead of back in all aspects of things. Yeah, there's people here that try to donate their time and some of their money to, cleaning up the oceans, things like that. Sure, that rolls back some things for a little bit, but like when you look at the grand scale of things, humans just want to burn everything the fuck down.
There's
And-
some aspect. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
The eating. That's the biggest hellish thing that humans do.
Consumption.
Is destroying something to consume it. Yeah, like an animal or a
Consumption.
plant and killing it. You kill things to survive. Like that's a horrible fucking base level.
I do
if I'm gonna build a
ultimately
creature.
think that our just obsession with consumption and destruction is ultimately what is going to end this planet and nothing else.
When I was in
I mean, have you guys read Dante's Inferno, or at least understand the allegory of the book?
I have not
explain
read
it really quick. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
No, I mean, less than that. I mean, there are 7 layers of hell. I mean, we talk about greed, gluttony, thievery, like deception. Like there are 7 layers of this human, the rings of hell, and Dante descends in through the rings of hell to. It's a book, but he descends the rings of the layers of hell to save his love from death, essentially. But these are the 7 deadly sins, or the 7 evils of the world that consume humanity, that consume that fuel and fire the human mind, consciousness, ego, like all these things. So we have to overcome these. We have to persevere through these things, right? And I think we can't even get past the first or second layer.
Well,
whether it's greed or lust or gluttony, whatever,
You can. Jesus came. You got to be Christ-like, which is these virtues, these 7 virtues that counteract the sins. And Jesus came and the fucking empire killed him. Like he didn't have free speech, so he couldn't get the word out properly. But now we can. So we need to embody these virtues. It's each of us. There's going to be a critical mass of us that embody virtue and are Christ-like in a way that sends ripples through space-time. And humans are there's going to be aspects of humanity that evolve pretty quick. Then there's AI. It might all be one thing that kind of creates a pseudo-organism that is Christ-like in nature.
It's false. It's a false Christ. I mean, it's an artificial false Christ.
Well, so's a flashlight, but it keeps you alive. So, it's all about how you use it.
Yeah.
When I was in heaven, I was. It was warm. I was with the spirits, and it was glowing. And I was like thinking to myself, now, why do I come back to this planet? What's the point of coming here? And then when I was in Texas, learning about these technologies that are saving the world, like reducing suffering and turning plastic into building materials and developing, or like releasing hydrogen for fuel, I realized why I'm coming here is to promote this stuff and to do this stuff and to help these people. So we can. I know we can. That doesn't mean there's not going to be fucking chaos, but that it is a reason to live.
Yeah. Are you aware of the 100th monkey theory, Ian?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I have also heard it's not real, but I have heard of it.
No, but I think whether it's real or not, I think it proves a good point. I think it does send a good message, understanding that there is a critical mass that when we all start thinking like-mindedness, when we all start, I mean, or the prayer of intent. You've heard these stories of prayer of intent across the world. Like when we all focus our intent and thoughts onto things, said thing will or can materialize or achieve that. So I am optimistic, but I'm also a realist. Like rather than being a half glass half full or empty, it's half realist, half optimistic. Like I understand that we are in a trying time, and we are in this fourth turning era. But I think we have to keep our nose to the grindstone and keep understanding that we are the catalyst, we are the dynamo that can fuel and funnel a greater renaissance revolution of ideas, thoughts, and ingenuity in our society, while at the same time we can be that same energy can spiral us into chaos and destruction and egoism and narcissism and a total recall type dystopia with AI. And I want to pin this, and I'll let you guys go, but I do use AI. I consider is a very important and profound tool. No different than your mind is a tool, right? But we have to direct it and target it. We have to make sure that it is with restrictions and understanding. And we can have the conversation about it's a bunch of Indians, mass typing in an island warehouse somewhere. But that's beside the point. I think it is a critical mass. It is a collective consciousness of human digital binary code in our stored knowledge. I mean, it's almost like a Akashic record, a version of the human Akashic record, as it were, within AI. But using that, I do make videos. I do post stuff on my socials. If you want to follow me on Break the Chains Media, do live streams. But this is a great conversation. I appreciate you guys having the time. But
sure.
Cheers to Ian, and cheers to everyone on IRL. And this is fucking great, dude.
Oh yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
I want to explain the 100 monkey theory. Also, I would love to, if you could, Brand, I don't know if you're able to pull up a picture of the Earth's magnetic field with the one magnetic line in the middle of the field going straight up. Sometimes they have that illustrated, sometimes they don't. I'm thinking about the sun is like a plasma ball where it's like has those purple, if you put your finger on it, it like the lightning goes to your finger. That's what solar spots, sunspots are. Something's
well,
making those.
Well, the sun is the easiest way to explain it is that the galactic center, Birkeland currents resonate through the galactic, the galactic plane, and then the sun is essentially like a neon sign, for lack of better terms. It holds and retains and then transmits that energy into its local area. And then the sun spots, or the sun flares, the radiation. I mean, this is the espousing from the galactic center in our local area, whether and we receive that through the magnetic spectrum, the magnetic field that we have on Earth. And we saw that.
Oh, what's that? Oh, this image that's on the screen, this doesn't have the illustration of the vertical. There's vertical. You can see the magnetic line. This is kind of a rough, vague magnetic field looking, but the field is like, you'll see ones with completely vertical lines, like the lines will go in circles, and then one line will just go straight up, and you don't see it wrapping. It just goes straight up. And I think that's the way that, 100th monkey theory is, a monkey on an island started washing her yams, and because she found that it was better to give her young monkeys food that was cleaned. And so she started doing it, and then
I almost
monkeys
thought that you used yam as a pseudonym there, and it kind of threw me the fuck up. But
I use yam as a totally different colloquial term. Like I don't know what yams you're washing.
I thought it was coconuts. I thought it was coconuts, but it turns out it was yams in the study.
I've washed plenty of yams in my day, brother.
So 100. Eventually, she taught other monkeys on the island. They watched her, and then they started repeating it, and they started all washing their yams. And then about 100 of them started doing it. And then all of a sudden, on islands elsewhere on the planet, they started noticing monkeys started washing their yams. And it's like, why? I think this magnetic field, where you see the part of the field that goes straight up, that's going to feed the galactic field or the solar field or whatever the fields that we haven't yet discovered, is like our brains are magnetic. Yep. We've got these magnetic fields coming out of our brains and our stomachs that are connected to that and sending data to the whatever, the core of the universe or wherever.
Well, yeah, that is essentially our brain is a electromagnetical, a biomechanical antenna that sends and receives transmissions through the cosmos. I mean, we are divine entities.
Yeah, and that's how you get the critical mass, is enough people start aligning and amplifying the whatever you would call the differential between the brain and the Earth's magnetic field to transmit a co-opt or something, and then it just starts hitting people. They dream about it. They wake up. They're like, today I want to work out. You know
well,
what?
You even see you see the birds. I mean, birds and whales operate within the magnetic field. I mean, it's totally real. There's no reason why why it's not available to us. We are just too. Humans are in such a low vibration with our civics and with our culture and with our ego and greed and everything that humans have fabricated around us within our lives. We no longer tune in to that radio frequency, for lack of better terms. So that's really all it is. And I'm just asking people and asking listeners and everyone involved, like, we just need to sometimes take a minute and tune back in, and that's what meditation is.
We're not
That's
like organically built to interact with this stuff, but we're still governed by the laws of it.
I found that
Yes.
internet video is like a way to transmit high frequency, because if you think something, you can psychically, ephaptically, it's called ephaptic coupling, if you want to look it up, you can communicate with one neuron to another neuron within a localized magnetic field. So say within the Earth's magnetic field. Technically, neurons within the Earth's magnetic field can cooperate. But those are very low frequencies. Now, if you want to send high frequency like sound or light, you got to use video. And now we've cracked the code of how to send internet video. So I can use high frequency and teleport high frequency through walls through like internet video. So we're able to
Ian,
rapidly
I think,
advance.
Yeah, I think I learned about faptic energy when I was like 16 or 17.
It's the wrong kind of
My dad's
fapping, dude.
magazines.
No,
but,
different faps. It's F-fapping.
No, you're good.
We've now
Hey,
talked about faps and yams.
Yeah, look up.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you all go. No, I appreciate you guys. I'm in the IRL Discord. Hopefully, I can catch you in a pre-show. But thanks for the conversation. Thanks for the chat, guys. And I'll let you guys get to another caller. But Ian, you're the man. Brandon, keep crushing it. And I'll call in another time soon, my man.
Thanks, Corey.
Spectacular.
Appreciate you, babe.
Corey. See ya. Yeah, that was great. Thanks for the scientific data drop.